Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Nick, and you're listening to the weekly audio release of my novel, American Traditional. We're building now, straight into the story. Today it's Chapter 2, The Favor. Leo steps into the copper horse, thinking he's untouchable. Magnus has a package that needs hiding, and pride won't let Leo say no. The line gets crossed. Quick note before we dive in. No art panels this week or next. Holidays hit hard, family time, travel, the whole deal, so I'm keeping the focus on getting these chapters out clean and on time. Panels will be back soon. Appreciate you hanging in there. So settle in, turn it up, and let's get into it.
Chapter 2. Favor. The Copper Horse was everything the Winchester wasn't. Dark, saturated with decades of cigarette smoke that had soaked into the wood like a stain on the city's conscience. The jukebox played scratchy Zeppelin. Men with Rust Belt Brotherhood cuts, a scowling angel gripping a broken chain, moved through the space like they owned the oxygen. Leo felt the shift the moment he walked in. The brewery crowd had looked at him like an artist. These men looked at him like a tool, useful, disposable if mishandled. Heads turned. Magnus Volkov sat in the back corner booth, his president's patch visible even in the dim light. He gave a single nod. Leo returned it. They took a booth near the pool table. Sarah fit here better than she ever did at the Winchester. Her black clothes and dark aesthetic were armor, not costume. She belonged in places where danger was real, not performed. A waitress materialized, blonde and tired, her eyes flat with years of not asking questions.
Dragon's milk,
Leo said. He needed to maintain the bourbon's warmth, keep the baseline steady. Sarah ordered whiskey, neat. 2 fingers. She liked hers clean and sharp, no mixer to hide behind. The beer arrived. Leo drank, watching the room over the rim of his glass. The Brotherhood moved like a pack, coordinated, aware of each other's positions, never turning their backs to the door. It was beautiful in its own way. That kind of organization, that kind of trust. Halfway through his beer, Magnus stood. He didn't look at them, just stood and started walking. Leo understood. He slid out of the booth.
be right back.
He said to Sarah. Her hand caught his wrist.
Leo,
It's fine.
is it?
He didn't answer, just pulled free and followed Magnus toward the back hallway, past the bathrooms to a door marked private. Magnus opened it without knocking. Inside was an office. Steel desk, filing cabinet, 1 chair, no windows. A room designed for conversations that didn't happen. Magnus closed the door. The sound of the bar became muffled, distant.
Ink looks good.
Magnus said, showing his forearm. A fresh skull and halo, realistic style, the kind of work Leo could do in his sleep. He'd done it 3 weeks ago. Quick session, cash tip.
It'll heal clean.
Leo said. He kept his voice level, professional. Not too eager, not too distant. Magnus nodded, satisfied. Then his expression changed. Not harder, just more focused, more serious.
Got a thing.
He said.
Need a favor.
Leo waited. The beer sat warm in his stomach, smoothing out the instinct to fill silence with words.
Package.
Magnus continued.
Small. Needs to be off the books a few days. Your studio's clean. Cops don't look at a place like yours. Art gallery with needles.
He said it without judgment, just stating facts.
Back room safe. Combination's your birthday, yeah.
It wasn't a question. Magnus knew the combination. Of course he did. The Brotherhood had fronted the money for Eclipse Inc. They'd helped him set up the security system. They knew everything about his shop except how to tattoo. This was a line. Leo could feel it, even through the bourbon haze. This was different from the other favors. The occasional client he didn't ask questions about. The cash payments that went in his pocket instead of through the register. This was physical. This was real. But saying no to Magnus meant more than losing a client. It meant looking weak. It meant admitting he wasn't as connected as he pretended to be. His pride made the decision before his brain could stop it.
No problem?
Leo said.
Back room safe.
Magnus's face didn't change, but something shifted in his eyes. Approval, satisfaction.
Knew you were solid.
He said. He clapped Leo's shoulder, the weight of his hand like a seal.
Next round's on the house.
He opened the door and walked out, leaving Leo alone in the office. The walls felt closer. The air felt thin. Leo took a breath, steadied himself, and followed. Back at the booth, Sarah's green eyes were wide behind her glasses. Not admiration, alarm.
What was that?
She asked, her voice low.
Business.
Leo said. He drained the rest of his beer, the liquid warm and bitter.
Magnus needs me to hold something for a few days. No big deal.
Hold what?
A package. I don't know. I don't ask.
He signaled the waitress for another round. The first beer was wearing off, the baseline dropping. He needed maintenance.
It's what you do. It's how this works.
Leo.
Sarah.
He cut her off, his voice sharper than he intended.
I've got this. Trust me. I'm untouchable, remember?
She stared at him for a long moment, then pushed her glasses up her nose, a gesture she did when she was thinking, calculating, deciding whether to push or let it go. She let it go. The second round arrived. Leo drank, feeling the warmth spread through his chest, feeling the anxiety smooth out into something manageable. $5,000. That was the usual rate. $5,000 for a week of doing nothing. He could already feel the weight of it in his pocket. Sarah sipped her whiskey, her eyes scanning the bar. They landed on something behind the register, a photograph in a cheap frame, the glass dusty and cracked.
Look at that.
She said, nodding toward it. Leo followed her gaze. The photo showed a group of men in leather cuts standing proud in front of a tattoo shop. The sign above them read, Sovereign Tattoo in bold letters. The men looked young, dangerous, immortal.
Sovereign.
Leo said.
The original kings.
My dad talked about that place.
Sarah said.
Said it was the only shop worth going to back in the day.
Was being the key word.
Leo took another pull from his beer. The alcohol was singing now, smooth and warm, making everything feel manageable, making him feel invincible.
Oldest shop in the city. Closed down 10, 15 years ago. Owner was a guy named Dane. Legendary hard ass.
What happened to him?
Leo shrugged.
Died, supposedly. Shop shut down after. Guy refused to change. Stuck doing anchors and daggers while the world moved on.
He gestured vaguely at the photo.
Probably thought coil machines and hand-poked dots were sacred. Thought everything new was a betrayal.
He said it with absolute certainty. The new king looking at ruins of the old. The idea that Sovereign Tattoo represented something he didn't understand was absurd to him.
Seems sad.
Sarah said quietly.
It's evolution.
Leo said. He drained his beer, set the glass down harder than he meant to.
Old guys like Dane, they built something, sure. But they couldn't adapt, couldn't grow. They died because they deserved to die. That's how it works.
Sarah looked at him, her expression unreadable behind her glasses.
You really believe that?
I know that.
She didn't argue, just turned back to her whiskey, her fingers tracing the rim of the glass. Leo flagged the waitress for another round. The third beer arrived. Leo drank. Across the bar, Magnus sat with his lieutenant, a lean, dangerous-looking man with a shaved head and scars on his knuckles. They were deep in conversation, their heads close, their voices low. Magnus glanced up once, met Leo's eyes, gave a small nod. The deal was done. Leo felt it settle into his bones. The weight of the favor, the promise of the money, the thrill of being trusted by men who could end him with a phone call. This was what success felt like. This was what power felt like. This was what belonging felt like. Sarah's hand found his under the table, her fingers cold against his palm.
Can we go?
She asked.
I'm tired.
Leo looked at her, really looked. She seemed smaller than she had an hour ago, her shoulders hunched, her eyes worried behind the dark frames.
Yeah.
He said. He dropped cash on the table, enough for the drinks and a generous tip.
Let's go home.
Outside, the late September air was sharp, cutting through the bourbon warmth. Leo's Mustang sat across the street, patient and waiting. They got in without speaking. He started the engine, let it warm. The radio played low, some old country station, Johnny Cash singing about falling into burning rings. Leo turned it off.
You okay?
He asked. Sarah stared through the windshield at the Copper Horse's neon sign, buzzing and flickering in the twilight.
I don't know.
She said honestly.
I don't like this. The package thing. Magnus. Any of it.
It's just business.
Leo said. He pulled away from the curb, the Mustang's engine rumbling.
I've done this before. It's fine.
Have you?
The question caught him off guard.
What?
Done this before, held packages.
Leo hesitated. The truth was complicated. He'd held cash once, money Magnus didn't want traced. Another time, paperwork, contracts or deeds or something. He never looked. But those felt different, safer. This felt heavier, more serious, more permanent.
Similar stuff.
He said finally.
Nothing bad ever happened.
Sarah nodded slowly, but she didn't look convinced. She turned away, watching the city slide past through her window, the gentrified blocks giving way to industrial zones, the hip restaurants replaced by warehouses and chain-link fences. They drove in silence back to the loft. The package, the favor, the $5,000. He'd made the right call. He was sure of it. This was how you built something. This was how you climbed. You took risks. You said yes when other people said no. You proved you were loyal, trustworthy, solid. Magnus had called him solid. That meant something. They parked in the lot behind the loft. Leo killed the engine and sat there for a moment, his hands still on the wheel.
We're good.
He said, more to himself than to Sarah.
This is all going to be fine.
Sarah looked at him, her green eyes catching the streetlight, magnified behind her glasses. She didn't say anything, just opened her door and got out.